Venus has a surface temperature of 475 degrees Celsius, hot enough to melt lead. Uranus rains actual diamonds. Today, we're ranking the planets with the most broken server settings in the entire galaxy, from mildly cursed to completely unplayable. Not that any of it matters in the grand cosmic scale of a dying universe, but hey, let's begin. Number 5. Mercury. Mercury is what happens when a developer forgets to add a texture for atmosphere and just ships the planet anyway. With zero insulation between the surface and the void of space, Mercury swings from 430 degrees Celsius at high noon to negative 180 degrees at night, a temperature range so unstable it's basically running two completely different biomes on the same character model. But it gets so much worse. Mercury is tidally locked into a 3-2 spin-orbit resonance, meaning a single day on the planet lasts 176 Earth days, longer than its entire year. It logged into the server, forgot how to sync its own clock, and nobody at Mission Control has ever bothered fixing the patch. If you tried to survive on Mercury, you wouldn't need weapons or shelter. You just need to stand still and wait, because the planet will kill you with pure environmental damage before you even get to react. It's not a fight. It's just a loading screen that ends in death. Number 4. Mars. Mars looks like a fully playable map from a distance. Red terrain, canyons, polar caps, the whole aesthetic package. But the moment you actually try to spawn in, you realize the entire atmosphere setting got left at less than 1% of Earth's pressure, meaning any exposed liquid on the surface instantly boils away into nothing. There is only one problem: the dust storms.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
Mars can generate storms that engulf the entire planet for months at a time, blacking out solar power and burying anything not bolted down. It's a build that spent all its points on visual fidelity and completely forgot to allocate anything into a functioning weather system. Beating Mars requires exactly one strategy: never actually go there. Send a robot instead, let it slowly die of dust accumulation over a decade, and call that a successful playthrough. That's the best anyone has managed so far.
Yeah, boy.
Number 3. Jupiter. Jupiter isn't even trying to be survivable. It's not that kind of build. This planet is a gas giant with no solid surface at all, meaning the moment you fall in, you just keep falling through increasingly crushing layers of hydrogen until the pressure alone turns you into paste.
Nice.
But it gets so much worse. There's the Great Red Spot, a storm larger than Earth itself that has been raging continuously for at least 350 years without a single break. It's not a weather event anymore. It's a permanent, unpatched bug that the universe gave up trying to fix centuries ago and just left running in the background. Nobody designed this on purpose. It just happened, and it kept happening. If Jupiter ever challenged you to a fight, you wouldn't lose. You'd just cease to exist as a coherent shape. There's no strategy here. There's no winning move. You simply don't render anymore. Number 2.
Uranus.
Uranus took unique build a little too literally and decided to spin completely sideways, rotating on an axis tilted 98 degrees, essentially rolling through its orbit like a barrel instead of a top. This gives it seasons that last 21 years each, meaning some regions get over 2 decades of uninterrupted darkness before the light patch finally rolls out.
Oh my God! Wow!
And somewhere deep in its atmosphere, the extreme pressure is theorized to compress carbon into actual diamonds.
Here comes the money!
Here we go.
Which then rain downward through the planet like discarded loot nobody can ever go pick up. It's an economy glitch where the rarest possible currency just falls constantly and means absolutely nothing. You couldn't beat Uranus even if you wanted to. There's no surface to stand on, no fight to win. You just tumble sideways into the dark for 2 decades and call it a season. Number 1. Venus. The top spot belongs to a planet that seems to actively hate the concept of being visited. Venus has a surface temperature of 475 degrees Celsius, hot enough to melt lead outright, locked in by a runaway greenhouse atmosphere made almost entirely of carbon dioxide, dense enough that the pressure alone would crush a human body flat within seconds. As if that wasn't enough griefing for one build, The clouds are made of sulfuric acid, and the planet spins backward compared to almost everything else in the solar system, so slowly that a single day on Venus lasts 243 Earth days, longer than its own year. It logged in, broke its own rotation, and never once apologized for it. Every single Soviet probe that has ever landed on Venus has died within a few hours, cooked, crushed, or dissolved before it could send back more than a handful of images. It's not a difficult level. It's an unplayable one that the universe forgot to lock behind a warning screen. There's no beating Venus. There's no strategy, no workaround, no clever trick that gets you out alive. You just accept that some servers were never meant to be joined and move on to the next planet, quietly grateful that Earth's settings, somehow, against all odds, got balanced correctly. Not that balance means anything in a universe that's going to reset itself eventually anyway.